Okay, so I have a ceiling fan, which you'll see in a second, where someone pulled the chain out. And of course, it's on the highest setting. And so that's a little bit annoying. So obviously want to replace that. Now I've seen a few YouTube videos where people sort of take the switch out and give some suggestions about how you might put a new chain on it. Go ahead and give that a try if you want. For me, there's a little spring inside. The whole thing kind of popped apart. Couldn't really work for me. And then, so what I did was I went to Menards. This is basically a new switch, all enclosed. It's $5. To be honest, it feels a little bit worth it to just get the new switch. Do pay attention to the type of switch you need. So this is a 3-way, 4-wire switch. I found at least 4 different types of switches. So definitely make sure that you're getting the right switch for your phone. Or for your fan. So, okay, let's take a look at the ceiling fan and get this new switch installed. Okay, so I'm going to assume that most people know how to change a light bulb. So obviously get the shade off first. Once the shade is down, what you're going to have to do is take the unit apart. Now obviously make sure the power is off first. I have this really handy voltage detector. It makes a noise if there's any voltage and the light comes on. So go turn off your circuit breakers. Nobody needs to get electrocuted. All right, so I've already taken most of the screws out of this. When we open it up, this is what we see. And so here's the switch right here. It was coming out of this hole, but I've already taken it apart, and you can see that it has 4 wires. I already showed you the top part, which I tried to fix, and so obviously what we need to do is get this out of here. Before you do that though, you need to make note of where all the wires go, right? So if you have a different type of switch, something might be different. With this 4-wire one, what's really nice is that there are numbers on the bottom that go with each of the wires, right? So 1, 2, 3, and L. So what I did was I took a picture of this. You could also write down which color goes where, but obviously what you're going to want to do is know how this goes, and then you can begin to take the old switch out. If you've opened it like I have, it's actually quite easy because it just pops out. Alright, so here are my 4 wires. Hopefully you can see that okay. So on mine, again, yours might be different. One was gray. Yeah, and you can just push it right in. It's really easy. So 1 was gray, 2 was brown, 3 was green, 'Yeah, these are really nice. They just push in, and then they're held, and then you can make sure that the wires are not exposed. Trim them if you need to, but if you've just gone into here, then you're good. And then black was L. That should be that. Now, there's this hole where the chain was coming out originally, and so you can unscrew this little thinger and put it back out, and you should be back in business once you get all this hooked back together. Of course, getting the chain back out the hole is sometimes the hardest part. There we go. Put this little brass nut back on. Hold the switch in place. Look at that. Alright, then we put this all back together. Put the light bulbs back in. Okay, so I just went downstairs and turned the power back on. You can see now that back in business. So I can turn this off now, and it's all fixed up and ready to go. Just gotta put the shade back on. So there you go. Pretty straightforward repair. Obviously, you just need to be careful. Electricity is dangerous, so make sure you turn the power off, and then really it's just as simple as pushing 4 wires in and undoing a couple screws. Hopefully that helped you. If it did, leave a like, consider subscribing, and let me know what you think down in the comments.